Here is something most men don't realize. Women decide within seconds whether they feel attraction or disinterest. And often it's not about your looks, your job or your income, it's about what you say and how you say it. Because words can either build chemistry or kill it instantly. Welcome back to Keep Calm Margot, where we talk about dating, psychology and relationships from a woman's perspective, so you can actually understand what's going on inside our minds. So let's dive into the instant turn-offs for women and what to say instead. Turn off number 1. I'm a nice guy. Let's start with this classic, I'm a nice guy. Now, being a good person is attractive, but announcing it, not so much. When a man feels the need to say it, it often signals he is seeking validation, not connection. See, when women hear that line, they don't think, oh great, a nice guy. They think, why does he have to tell me that? According to a 2018 study published in the Personality and Individual Differences, women perceive overemphasized niceness as a potential red flag because it can hide insecurity or covert manipulations. For example, expecting something in return for kindness. So instead of telling her you are nice, show her through your behavior. Be respectful, attentive, and grounded. Confidence in your actions speaks louder than reassurance in your words. Quick poll, have you ever caught yourself saying, I'm a nice guy, out of frustration? Be honest, drop a yes in the comments if that's ever slipped out. Later in this video I'll tell you one phrase that instantly makes a woman lose interest, even if she liked you a moment ago. Turn off number 2, you are different from other girls. This one sounds like a compliment, but it's actually not. It sounds like you are putting her on a pedestal while insulting every other woman at the same time. When you say, you are not like other girls, what she often hears is, I've had bad experiences and I'm projecting them onto you. And even worse, it suggests that your attraction isn't about who she is, it's about how she compares to the others. Psychologist Dr. Lisa Firestone from the Glendon Association explains that compliments rooted in comparison can backfire because they activate subtle pressure to stay different. It makes women feel that they need to perform that uniqueness, which creates anxiety, not intimacy. And here's what to say instead. I really like how genuine you are, or you have a calm energy, it's refreshing. That's specific, personal, and emotionally intelligent. Here's your first cliffhanger. The next turn off isn't something you say to her, it's something you say about yourself that instantly kills attraction, no matter how well the date is going. Turn off number 3. I don't know what I want. This one might surprise you, but emotional uncertainty is a huge red flag for women. When a man says, I don't know what I want right now, what she hears is, I'll waste your time. Of course, you don't have to know your 5-year plan or be ready to get married, but being vague about your intentions creates emotional confusion. And women are biologically wired to avoid instability in potential partners. A 2022 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that ambiguity and mixed signals cause higher stress responses in women than clear rejection. Why? Because uncertainty triggers the same part of the brain associated with threat detection. So, if you are not sure what you want, at least be honest about where you are. Say, I'm figuring this out, but I value meaningful connections. Clarity builds respect, even when it's not exactly what she hoped to hear. Now, here's the part most guys never realize. Even casual comments can create an instant emotional disconnect. Let's talk about those. Turn off number 4. Negative self-talk or oversharing. Picture this, you're on a date and she says something kind, maybe a compliment about your laugh or your outfit, and you respond with, I don't really look that good, or thanks, but that's just an old shirt. Seems humble, right? But what she feels is discomfort. When you reject her compliment, you are not being modest, you are signaling low self-worth, and confidence is the oxygen of attraction. Research from the University of Texas found that self-deprecating humor and negative self-talk reduce perceived attractiveness and dominance in men, especially in early interactions. Now, this don't mean you can't be vulnerable or real. You absolutely should be. But there's a difference between honest and emotionally heavy. Telling her, I've had a rough week, is real. Telling her, everything goes wrong for me, is emotionally draining. So here is a trick. When you talk about something difficult, always end on a note of growth or humor. For example, yeah, this week was chaotic, but at least I learned to make better coffee. That's authentic and confident. And stay tuned, because the next turn off is something so common you might have said it without realizing how unattractive it sounds. Turn off number 5. All my exes were crazy. Every woman has heard this one, and trust me, every time she does, your inner alarm bells start ringing. Because what it really tells her isn't that your exes were unstable, it tells her that you might lack self-awareness, accountability, or emotional maturity. Dr. Benjamin Kearney, a relationship researcher at UCLA, found that people who externalize blame for past relationships, meaning they frame every breakup as the other person's fault, are significantly less satisfied in future relationships. When you call all your exes crazy, she doesn't think they were the problem. She wonders what you were like with them. Here's what to say instead. I've had some relationships that didn't work out, but I learned a lot from them. Simple, mature, attractive. Here is your final cliffhanger. The biggest verbal turn-off isn't even negative. In fact, it's something that sounds romantic but kills attraction instantly when said too soon. Turn-off number 6. Over-complimenting too early. You meet a woman and within 10 minutes, you're saying, "You are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I've never met anyone like you. I could really see myself falling for you." Sounds sweet, right? But here's what it actually communicates. Scarcity. It tells her that you are emotionally hungry and that you barely know her but already project fantasy onto her. Real attraction grows through curiosity, not intensity. A 2019 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that gradual attraction, the kind that builds through shared values and emotional resonance, leads to stronger and long-lasting connections than love bombing or instant idealization. So compliment her, but make it grounded and genuine. Try, "I really like your sense of humor," or "You have a calm presence." That shows you are observing her, not idolizing her. What's your take on this? Have you ever accidentally over-complimented someone? Share your story in the comments, I want to hear from you. Outro. So let's wrap this up. The most attractive thing you can say isn't rehearsed or perfect, it's real. Avoid phrases that sound defensive, self-deprecating, or desperate for approval. Women aren't looking for the perfect man. They're drawn to a man who are emotionally aware, authentic, and comfortable in their own skin. Because when you communicate with confidence and clarity, your words don't just sound better, they feel better. If this video gave you some insight, give it a like. It really helps the channel reach more people like you. And tell me in the comments, what's the one phrase you hear or said that totally killed the vibe? This is Keep Calm Margot, helping you understand women's psychology and connection, one honest conversation at a time. Remember, attraction isn't built through perfection, it's built through presence. Stay calm, stay grounded, and stay you. See you in the next one. Bye!